So coterminal angles. Remember, coterminal angles are angles that start and begin in the same place. Or sorry, start and end in the same place. Given an angle theta in standard position, to find a coterminal angle, there's two formulas. If an angle is given to you guys in degrees, then to find the coterminal angle, any coterminal angle is just going to be theta plus 360 degrees times n, where n is just any integer. What type of numbers are integers? Whole numbers, can they be negative? Can they be negative?
Oh, yeah,
They can be negative, okay? If theta is in radians, it's the same thing, but what do we use for instead of 360 if it's in radians? 2 pi. So it's going to be theta plus 2 pi n, where n is still an integer. Okay. So this is where, like for me guys, like I'm obviously your math teacher. This is where math got hard for me because in high school, there was a lot of definitions here. So your guys' favorite words to hear in high school, your teachers ask you to do what? Starts with an S. Study. You need to, if you want to do well this semester, you have to study. You have to look back at your notes. You have to do your homework. Otherwise, this is not going to be good. Okay? And your seniors, this is your last semester. You guys can't get the famous senioritis on me because this will rock you in not a good way if you guys don't study. You have to study. You passed. What do you mean? No. Go to tutoring, guys. Come see me at lunch. So sketch each angle, bless you, in standard position. Okay, we're going to make this easy at first, and then obviously it's going to get harder. So for each problem, guys, I'm going to give you guys an angle. So for this problem, let's say theta is equal to 140 degrees. So if I want to sketch an angle in standard position, your homework is really easy because it's going to be multiple choice, but is your test going to be multiple choice? So I want you guys to try to take these seriously on your homework. Don't just guess until, oh yeah, it's right. Okay, so if I want to sketch this in standard position, remember that it starts on the positive x-axis. I need to rotate this 140 degrees. Which direction is it if it's positive? Do I go clockwise or counterclockwise? Counterclockwise. Okay, so I'm going this way. Okay, how far do I have to rotate to get 140? Which quadrant will this land in? Second quadrant. So do you guys agree from here to here, it's how many degrees? 90. So how many more degrees do I need to go? 50. So how many degrees is each quadrant? 90. 90. So if I have to go 50 more, do you guys agree that's a little bit more than halfway? Okay, I'm not gonna bust out a protractor, but it needs to be pretty close. Okay, try to keep it close. So your drawing should look something like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw something like this to show like this is where the angle stopped. So this right here is theta equals 140 degrees. So the question says to find one positive and one negative coterminal angle. So in order to do that, what you need to do is the definition says that coterminal angles are 360 degrees apart. So all you have to do is take your angle and add 360 degrees. So our angle was 140. So what would 140 plus 360 give me? 500 degrees. What happened? It is really hot, yeah. What do I do to draw? What do I do to draw the 500? I don't know how to answer. I don't know how to answer that. I just know it, guys. I also went to school for this. I know. Thank you. I appreciate that. How do I? Do you guys agree this is another rotation, right? So this is already 140. To draw 500, all I have to do is draw this again, but then loop around and land in the same spot. So it's going to look like this. Boop. Okay. To find the negative angle, do the reverse. Pay attention, guys, because last year the students were confused about this when I taught this class. Do you guys see how it says positive? Your answer needs to be positive. So if it's negative, I want my answer to be negative. So let's say I gave you guys like 1,200 degrees. If I subtracted 360, is my answer going to be negative? You have to keep subtracting or adding until you get the sign that it tells you. So all you have to do is take your angle and keep subtracting 360 until you get a negative answer. Well, luckily, I just have to do it once. What's 140 minus 360? Negative what? 220? That sounds right. Did anybody do it already? It's 220? Okay. I just made this problem up. That's why I don't know. You leaving? Oh, no.
Oh. 3:15? Oh.
You're leaving, really?
No.
You guys have a game tomorrow night today.
Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow we leave like at, what, 5th period?
You guys play at Rosie, huh? Or no, Orange Cove. All right. So negative 220. This is negative 180. So another 40 degrees would be something like that. Okay? Yes, negative angles go clockwise. Okay, questions on this problem? No?
What was yesterday?
Yes. Is everybody good on A? Okay. So if I want to draw 450 degrees and it's negative, which direction is negative? Clockwise. This is greater than 360, but in the negative direction, so I have to go more than one rotation. So negative 450, so this would be negative 360. How many more degrees do I need to go? What's 450 minus 360? You guys have calculators. Negative 90, good. So do you guys agree negative 90 more would be like that?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. All right. To find a positive angle, I need to take my angle and add 360 until I get a positive number. So if I do negative 450 plus 360, what is that going to give me? Positive or negative? Negative. Okay, so this is not positive, so I need to do it again. If the answer is not the sign it tells you, you have to perform it again. So I'm going to add 360 again. And what do I get? 270. So this is a positive coterminal angle. So this angle, when I draw it, it should land in the same place as the blue one. Okay? So 270, if I'm positive, which direction do I go? Counterclockwise. So positive, so this would be 90, 180, 270, and yep, it lands in the same place. So you, boop. You don't have to, but when you guys do your homework, if you guys can do these in different colors, so that way you guys can tell what you're doing too. Yeah. We're doing art in here. Okay. To find a negative one, what's the rule? Subtract 360. So it's going to be negative 450 minus 360. What is that? Yes. How many rotations do I have to go at least? 2. And then how many more degrees? 90. Very good. So it's going to be negative 360, and then negative 720, and then negative 90 more. So if you're just looking at that and not knowing what's happening, that looks horrible. Okay. Questions before we do fractions? Because what are we measuring the angles in right now? In degrees. What did I tell you guys you're going to be dealing with most of the time? Radians, okay? So you guys are hopefully comfortable with the degrees. So now let's do these in radians. So part C, and I need another page. So I want us to draw theta is equal to 2 pi over 3 in radians. So question, is 2 pi over 3, is that one of our angles that's on our unit circle? Yeah. It is. So I know some of you guys know already. What quadrant is 2 pi over 3 in? Quadrant 2, good. Everybody sees that 2 pi over 3 is about right here? Okay, so it's going to be something like that. So same idea, the only thing that's different is I'm not going to add or subtract 360. What am I going to add or subtract instead? 2 pi, good. So theta plus 2 pi. So it's going to be 2 pi over 3 plus 2 pi. Okay, class, I know you guys have calculators, but you guys are in PreCal. You guys shouldn't be using calculators for this. So get a common denominator. This is a 1 right now, right? If I want a denominator of 3, multiply top and bottom by 3. So this would be 2 pi over 3 plus 6 pi over 3. Now because they have the same denominator, can't I add the numerators? This is where all of you guys should say yes.
Yes.
What's 2 pi plus 6 pi? 8 pi. So this is just 8 pi over 3. So instead of thinking really hard, like, well, where the heck is that going to lie? Isn't this going to be one rotation more this way? So I just have to draw the same angle, but instead of stopping there, I'm going to loop all the way around and back to where I started. So, boop. Okay, negative. So theta minus 2 pi is going to equal 2 pi over 3 minus, don't we know that 2 pi is the same thing as 6 pi over 3, guys? So minus 6 pi over 3. What's 2 minus 6? Negative 4 pi over 3. Cool. So I'm going to go in the negative direction and land in the same spot as this ray right here. So it's going to look something like this. That picture looks a lot better. Okay, question, is 13 pi over 6 one of our angles on our unit circle? No. Is it bigger or smaller? It's obviously going to be bigger, right? So how do I figure out where that's going to land? Well, don't we know that one full rotation is how many radians? 2 pi. So 2 pi is going to be right there. So in other words, this is the same thing as 2 pi plus how much more? So if I think about it, I can kind of subtract 2 pi from this angle to figure out how much more like rotation I need. Does that make sense, guys? How do I get a common denominator with this? What do I want the denominator of this to be? 6. So what do I multiply top and bottom by? 6. So 13 pi over 6 minus 12 pi over 6 is the same thing as pi over 6. So this is the same thing as 2 pi plus another pi over 6. So it's going to look something like this. And I'm able to do this fast because I know where pi over 6 is on my unit circle. And in about 2 weeks, you guys will too. Hopefully, right? I can give you guys all the knowledge I want. You guys have to meet me halfway. You guys have to do your part too. I'm asking you guys to study and take this home and study. You guys have to study. Exactly what he said. All right, let's find a positive and a negative. So theta plus 2 pi is going to be 13 pi over 6 plus, we know that 2 pi is the same thing as 12 pi over 6 from this math right here. So if I simplify this, guys, what's this going to be? Anybody? What's 13 plus 12?
25.
So 25 what?
25 pi over 6.
Yes. Now I should say this too. Is this the only correct answer? Couldn't I just keep adding 2 pi to this if I wanted to?
Yeah.
There are infinitely many answers, but do you guys really want to draw something like 100 and something pi over 6? No, probably not. Okay. So we know that this is going to land right here. So if I go all the way around again, it's going to look something like this. Okay. To find a negative coterminal angle, I'm going to help you guys out. If you guys look back earlier, didn't we already subtract 2 pi earlier? You guys follow me? We subtracted 2 pi earlier and we got pi over 6. Is this negative? No, so what do I need to do again? Have to subtract again. So if I subtract 2 pi, I get pi over 6. Since that's at negative, I have to subtract 2 pi again. So it's going to be pi over 6 minus 12 pi over 6, because that's the same thing as 2 pi. This is the same thing as 1 pi over 6. What's 1 minus 12? Negative 11 pi over 6. Okay? So, where's that going to be? So question, is 11 pi over 6 on our unit circle?
Yeah.
It is. So basically, I'm going to go backwards. Isn't 11 pi over 6 like right here on our unit circle?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost 1 full rotation. So it's the same idea, but I'm going negative, and it's going to land right there. So it's going to be like that. Okay? All right. Here comes the fun part. You guys are going to try these now. So we lost some soldiers. So we have enough. Do you guys want groups of 3 or groups of 2? I don't care. 3? We can do groups of 3. Groups of 1? Kendra? Michael? Abraham? Right here? Bradley? George? Teddy? Right here? Ulysses? Jackie? Joel? Right here? Cover your headphones, dude. You gonna drop a fire mixtape right now or what?
Oh, yeah.
Eli? Kobe? Zyra? Arturo when he comes back? Damien? Giselle? Okay, exact same steps, guys. Don't skip a problem. Do one problem as a group together. Each of you guys should have a different colored pen. You guys are on that one?
I didn't work.
Oh, you're good. Okay. I thought you guys were all huddling on this. You good?
No.
These are flies.
No, I can't even get past the first one.
So product of two numbers given that. So the product is going to be p equals x, y. And then, what's the other part saying?
Whatever given the numbers like these times given on the other. Finals plus 7.
So yeah, y, one number is the same thing as the other number plus 7.
Why is it?
If I multiply them, that's a product, right? And then, given that one number is exactly 7 more, so then I'm going to take this and plug it in. You could do x equals y plus 7, so it doesn't matter. Because then when we do the derivative, everything will be in terms of y's. But usually want to keep it in terms of x's just because with y's you might think, oh, do I do implicit differentiation?
Okay.
So then p is equal to x times x plus 7. This is going to be x squared.
Oh,
the 45 degree angle.
okay, that makes sense.
Careful guys, 95/4, is that in quadrant 4?
I don't know if it's going this way.
No. Wait. Am I? Is 9 pi 4 on our unit circle? No. So is this anything bigger or smaller than 2 pi?
This one?
It's bigger. So because it's bigger, subtract 2 pi to figure out like where it's going to land on the unit circle.
We can do both.
Just on the.
Wait, no,
Wait, Visual, is that the right?
That's right.
Write it down.
okay, that's okay.
So 45 degrees. 45 degrees.
It's that.
Well, this is the integral. So you want to add 2 pi to this one.
I can't do that.
You can do that.
So it's like on the whatever it's like the regular degrees, whatever you're trying to find a positive one, you add 360. And
Pretty
then
cool.
360 radians. Or make it. Yeah.
That's 2 pi.
And then I just. That's what we did.
Oh, this is teapot.
Yeah.
So mine is this.
Are you still thinking about what you told me?
What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I passed my license. Went around 4 times, so I went. Yeah, I said if I get my license, then I'll be out.
That's all you want.
And I got it, so I already drive, so. Five certification. And 4 alternate and just going on twice. Environmental
I was reading it off that.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, so add 2 pi. So this denominator is 4, right?
Yeah.
So multiply top one.
You want to do the, just one?
What are you doing? The whole thing?
It's just the units with
I don't know.
Yeah. What's, I can't do that.
Oh, yeah,
It's here. It's 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one is the.
Kobe, make it look nicer, dude. What are you showing me right here?
What?
What is that? What are you doing?
240.
Yes, I can see that.
Positive one.
Go label it.
We need to go the other way.
That makes me happy.
Is this?
Like for EP, next year, everything has to be labeled very clearly. I don't grade it. The AP.
Oh, really?
No, negative.
When you take your AP test,
Oh, the AP test?
Yeah.
They look at your scratch notes.
you have to do a few responses, like 6 questions. So how do you want to make them?
So it'll be the same thing, but just a negative.
Make sure you guys draw all 4.
Wait, is the first one right?
Yeah, it was.
I think it would, right?
Yeah.
Then this one should be the same thing.
Eli, it's all you.
Just minus it behind it.
Mr. Vision, can you address?
Yeah,
So you're.
Where's it?
I almost failed Spanish because of this class.
Is this one?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Spanish in this class.
It was Spanish.
You're too positive.
I take Spanish too.
What is this? Where's your?
What, there's only 2 bubbles?
You couldn't have done one of those? Come on.
That's
Five point
480.
480. $480? Negative 480, right?
Yes, if it's in degrees, you can do degrees. Is that one good?
Basic.
Oh my God, that was
Clockwise. So, if I'm going this way, that's 90. How many more degrees would be going? So 30 more.
That's
That's 1.
from this way, right?
Yeah.
Because from here to 5 is 600. So we have to do that, and just subtracting 5. We get negative. This is the same thing as that, so instead of doing like, do the columns over again, it's the same as that. So because you know it's 8 pi left here, so you subtract.
Because I didn't know until I got home.
What's your?
So.
And you didn't know.
Separate here, get
Guys, there's none of these.
Well, that's from 0 to 5, so you already know
Stats is more scenarios.
Also, by D.
God. Can you still get up? You can still do it.
So if you guys, I reported.
I was looking at it.
Oh, because it's something else.
It would be better if I did less than that. Yeah, that's why.
I don't know.
Are you gonna go to college on the grid? All those people play with. Where you going?
Oh, where your brother is at? Ah,
Oh, you're gonna
I don't know why I do my 3-year requirements. So I went to freaking college, but still.
But then you're gonna be basketball there, right?
I have no PCL. It's like an ACL. And then my meniscus is teared. Then my knee hurt. And then in football, my knee went backwards.
Your cubits to the football.
The negative just told you if you go this way.
I didn't do this. I didn't even want to do basketball. I do it because I went like I have to forget about it during the game.
You were at 600.
Yeah, it was a 600.
Actually?
Yeah.
I forgot you had
The other kid?
I remember when you're in I started
Last year was my first
If
year.
it stays on like for a
He's been
day
in
or
varsity.
2, then you have to use that, because then it gets harder. No.
It's hard to
Yeah, and I was lazy. Dude, it was either me and him, or a freshman sophomore year, right? It was me and him, but I got lazy. And I didn't want to be. I don't like. I knew I was
Sins,
gonna
it's
get-
fine. That's sin.
I'm gonna call it Sin.
He told me, he was like, you want